Warning: the following content may not be suited for younger or sensitive audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, dude, if I'm gonna spend 400 cookies, don't you dare give me the least amount on the board.
What?
Monopoly Go. You gave me the least amount on the board
Okay,
again.
sorry about that.
You're not.
Monopoly Go uses cookies.
So,
Yeah,
is everyone
there's
here?
an event going on. No.
Is everyone
Maybe.
here? I think,
No.
is Kirsten still
That's
muted?
as far as that'll go. So, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, never mind.
who would like to recap? You good?
Let me
Trey,
look-
you were here. Why don't you recap?
Yeah, Trey, you recap. And then you can give the DM inspiration to Max, and then he can use it to kill us.
I swear to fucking God.
Oh, sorry, I walked away for like a second.
Do you want to recap, Trey? I mean, you can
Okay.
give it a shot.
I mean, I want to at least try to do it.
Go for it.
So, as you all remember, you guys... No, wait, yeah, I was there for that. Never mind. I still remember actually there. I was there. So, you guys are just beating the absolute shit. I don't remember. Somebody else do it.
Alright, so yeah, we started session. I can. Actually, do you want to do it, Clay? Alright, I got DM.
I could do it because I don't have a DM inspiration.
Go ahead, man.
So pretty much last session, it was us entering the Colosseum and, meeting Corsandus and whatnot. And we begun the session and fight. As we were fighting, it seemed relatively easy. And after,
2 turns.
not even that long, 2 turns. Yeah, 2 turns. Idris ended up cutting off Corsandus' arm that had the God of Hand on it. And Corsandus was reverted back to his original self.
God of Hand?
The God of Hand. Yeah, I was getting there. But
Hand of God.
Levi.
Sorry.
I know. I'm getting there, bub. I'm getting there. I'm so sorry I called you bub. I went to say bud. But anyways, so what happens is that we look away for 2 seconds. Why are you throwing a crunch at me?
Not for you one.
It was a fucking chuck at me. I'm sorry. Anyways. Pretty much we look away for 2 seconds to make sure Corsandus is okay, and then we look back and the God of Hand has actually reverted into a true form, essentially. Was it revealed who it was?
No.
Or no? Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Players.
To play, some
But,
players know, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was wanting to make sure on if it was revealed of the name or not. But, anyways, so we fought this dude, because it turned out the Hand of God became humanoid and was pissy. So we ended up fighting it, and Cain actually was like, "Here you go, Oric," and tosses him a gun. Not just any gun, the Harbinger. But, so pretty much, as that happens, Oric used his wild shape, I believe, as well. I don't remember what he created with it.
He turned into a crystal dragon.
Okay. He turned into a crystal dragon, and while this thing was distracted, he ended up getting close to it and shooting at its arm. And as that happened, it scared it off, and it dipped. And then we just hear a groan, because it turned out that Sloth got shot as well because of the Harbinger. Because it doesn't just shoot one person.
Anymore.
Because it was broken. No, it shot 2 people. because it would shoot the person who was shooting the gun and it'd shoot the target.
Well,
But
it
because it's broken, it fired at random and shot a random person.
that's what I was saying, but in a different context.
Ah,
Yeah,
sorry.
you're fine.
But anyways, that funky stuff happened, and it turns out that Idris also recognized Sloth later on. Don't really remember off the top of my head, but
I think he was a part
that
of
happened,
your
and
crew back in like the 20-year war. Like that's what it was.
yeah, a part of our group.
The war.
I just didn't know entirely about him because he was not a very knowledgeable character. But war never changes. But anyways, after that, we ended up talking about trying to help Envy, aka Voyage, and
Did for the audience.
Astral was low-key trying to hide it, and Kane was like, "Man, we have someone in our group who knows mind magic,
It's like no, it's
mind
like
fuckery."
Kane said verbatim, "Why don't we use the mind fucky wizard over there?"
Exactly.
Threw him
And
so far under the bus, like so fast. Like
she did.
What do you want from me?
we weren't blaming you.
No, we weren't blaming you. It's just I just thought it was funny that Kane so easily threw Astral under the bus.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
everyone
Here,
has a
sorry, I've been
use.
looking for that.
But after that, we kind of started to journey with Sloth to find Voyage. Well, because Sloth's abominations are low-key harassing her right now. So we're just following him to see where she leads us.
So, DM inspiration. Wow.
Yay!
It probably did. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so you guys are currently making your way down these abandoned and empty streets, and after a while, Sloth stops, and he kind of looks down to an alleyway. And you don't hear anything down the alleyway.
Oh.
Do you continue?
Does he say? Oh, does he say? Oh, she's down there, or does he just look down the alleyway?
You just look down there. Anyway, but he'll head down there. The granted you guys are kind of heading on. Can I have someone roll a perception check?
Actually, question.
Yeah, I'll roll one.
Is it
Yes.
just Idris and Astral, right?
It's just Edis and Astral at the moment.
All right. Because
Oh.
Dimitri and F at the moment, so
What?
don't
So
worry
it's
about
just,
it.
So it's just Astral and I? Okay.
That is a
Would I
22.
possibly get advantage on them?
Hmm?
Would I get advantage because smell?
Yes.
Okay. Give me like 2 seconds. I have like 2 different devices I have to use for this.
Haven't transferred your sheet over yet?
No, he's just shooting on his computer.
Oh.
My phone is just very messy right now.
I see. 210.
So Astral, you find her.
Okay.
You happen to like just see something white out of the corner of your eye, and then you look over, and you see these 2 abominations just kind of sitting there, and like, you know how dogs lay on their owners when they're asleep in like a sitting up position?
Mhm.
That's kind of what's happening, because she's asleep
Okay.
against a wall, and in her hands is clutched this very ragged green flag. And this flag has the symbol of the Nadal Empire. And she's clutching it very close to her chest.
Okay, so refresh my memory. What was the Nadal Empire again? Wasn't that like
The
a
Nadal Empire
super
is
fucking old empire?
yes, it's based off the Roman Empire, so it's very similar.
Okay, so that was the empire that Idris was a part of at some point.
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure because like
The
I don't know
Nadal
how long
Empire
ago it
is
was.
so the Nadal Empire formed not long after the fall of the original civilizations.
Okay.
So the Nadal Empire has been a constant throughout pretty much all of the first era and the second era. And
Alright.
probably even before the eras.
So, alright. Okay. Good to know. Let me think. Damn it. Forgot what I was gonna say. So I see her. Does she appear to be? She appears to be asleep.
She is asleep, like
Okay.
gone.
Okay. She's conked.
She's conked, like absolutely dead to the world.
All right. Good to know. So when the Astral and Idris are getting close, he's going to say to Idris to, all right, just stand back for a little bit. This may take a moment, and as for you, Sloth, I would ask that you do your best to keep her asleep, if you can.
And Sloth just kind of uses his arm that is not limp, and he just kind of flicks his wrist, and you see the two abominations who kind of have their heads in her lap, and they just kind of close their eyes and start rumbling. It kind of sounds like bones clattering together.
Okay. So, all right. So
They're
What
charming in
Astral's
their
going
own
to
little.
do, what Astral's going to do is he's going to take a seat, next to Voyage.
Mhm.
And then he's going to charge his horn, and then he's going to cast Dream on her.
Okay.
So you remember what Dream does, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, all right, and Astral's also going to include Idris in the dream, so he can also be in there. Just making sure I'm covering all my bases. All right. Okay. All right. So whenever we get into her dream, is there anything in particular that we see?
Give me just
Because
a moment.
and do I need to make any checks?
Want this to be a deafened moment, or
No, you guys all can hear this. So when you get into the dream, it's dark at first. And then you're suddenly overwhelmed with the feeling of heat.
Heat? Okay.
And it's like the air gets drier, and if you can feel the beating down of the sun on the back of your neck, and the world starts to come into view in this hazy blur, and you are in the desert. And you see this kind of put together, this barely standing town at the edge of an oasis.
All right. So, about how far is it away from us?
Well, you guys are currently in the middle of the town.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we saw it in the distance. Okay, my bad.
No. Nope, you're good.
Okay. So then, Astral is just going to look up at Idris, like who was there with him, and with Dream, it gives him some measure of control, but not like like full control. So
Mm-hmm.
he could Astral's just going to say, he's going to look up at Idris and say, I can keep us here for as long as you need. But there is one catch. He says, you cannot touch her. If you do, you may wake her up and shatter the dreams.
Idris would nod his head very carefully and just.
No
He's
matter
not
how much
really.
you want to. But
But yeah, Idris would just end up nodding his head.
very well. So Max, can Astral sense Voyage's presence in this town?
You can. It's coming from behind you, and from behind you, you hear what the sounds of an auction and the clanks of change.
no!
Oh no!
Fuck!
Oh no!
And as you
I'm sorry.
you head towards these noises.
Yes. Astral will head towards the noise with Idris.
So as you get closer, you see flags, and you see the familiar dark emerald green
Of the Nadal
with the
Empire.
symbol of the Nadal Empire.
Oh no!
And as you approach the noises, you see a bunch of humanoids, mostly elves, but some humans amongst them. And on this stage podium, you see tieflings lined up,
Are they
bound
all
in
tieflings?
shackles. All of them are tieflings.
Of various colors and
All various
Um,
colors, certain, like, Zariel, Asmodeus,
Use the
whatever.
rainbow.
Sub-races.
And among these tieflings, and it's very stark in comparison because most tieflings are fairly dark, are fairly dark colors. You see a small, maybe 10-year-old white tiefling.
Now, Max, I have to ask. Like, with Astral's experience, would he know that this is a memory?
Mm-hmm. And you also know that since this is a memory, it's gonna take you a second to actually find her.
Yeah. Well, I see, her, but like, it's a memory of her. It's not.
Well,
So
see her and find her and actually get through to her.
yeah, because the memory probably has to play out completely. But I have a question. Does Idris recognize this?
No,
Okay, because this is probably
because
before that
Idris,
they met.
despite how old he is, has never fully been in a doll because it's kind of a bit nasty to people who aren't elven or human of some kind.
Okay.
The
So,
furthest Idris has ever been is a port town.
Again, like there's like a crowd of people like standing there, like on just below the stage, probably
Mm-hmm.
shouting out numbers and stuff.
Yep.
Are they shouting out in common, or is it a language I don't?
They're shouting out in common. But
Okay.
they're using like some terms and slangs you're unfamiliar with, but that's just regional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, over time. But so when Astral sees this, does Idris also see her, or is it just Astral just see her right now?
Both of you see her.
Okay. And Astral just says, as I said before, we cannot intervene. This is a memory. And in order to reach her, we have to let it play out.
Idris is going to take in a very deep breath and just nod his head, and it's honestly, with Astral probably looking at Idris or looking around, he can tell that Idris doesn't recognize any of this, like as if he hasn't been told this, or just yeah, he doesn't know.
Max, so Astral knows the consequence of, like, fucking with a dream. Especially
Mm-hmm.
one this powerful.
It mostly just ends with the spell ending.
Yeah. And it could probably also shatter the psyche even more, if that's even possible.
Yes.
But so this dream looks to be stable, right? It's not necessarily crashing.
Not exactly. I mean, you've done this long enough that Idris might think this is stable. However, you can feel, but like you can feel it in your like magic in your bones that this dream is about to shift, and it might take a few shifts.
Okay. And Ash was just going to say, just stay quiet and watch.
And as this auction progresses, you see this woman. She's holding an umbrella in this heat. And she seems to be wearing some fancier clothes. She seems to be a noble of some sort. And she looks a bit out of place.
Mm-hmm.
The more striking thing about her is her bright, glowing yellow eyes.
Who was it again? Who were you describing?
A noble woman within the crowd. And
Okay.
you hear her call out a number, but you're not entirely sure. Like, you can hear people call out numbers, but like she's so up front in the crowd that you hear her speak, but you don't hear exactly what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Do I recognize her voice?
No, you do not. And so she ends up calling out a number. You hear the auctioneer call it out a few times, and he slams down the gavel and goes sold. And you see someone unclip Voyage from her, like the bonds that attach her to the other tieflings, and they kind of just push her off the stage, towards the woman. I'm gonna take that as there is no reaction. Okay.
Ash was just going to say, this must be one of her earliest memories. She, Max, I forgot. Don't tieflings like age at the same rate as like humans?
They do.
Okay, it's like Astro just says she can't be more than 6 or 7.
Yes, Levi. I said yellow eyes.
It's just, has she ever spoken
Motherfucker.
about this to Idris?
Idris is gonna speak up, and he's going to go, well, no, I don't know anything about this. Like, I adopted her when she was 12. I don't know anything of what's happened here because she's never spoken of it, and I've never pushed her boundary to ask.
I see. Well, let's let the dreamscape move on. See if we see anything else.
And it takes a few seconds because you see the woman kind of, I mean, you see her kindly help Voyage up in the kindest way that
A slave owner
can
can.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the dream, it starts to shift again. And in between this void you're kind of engulfed in, you see flashes of just bits and pieces of an older Voyage, like the Voyage that you know, being tortured in various methods, and you kind of hear her screams. I will answer your question in a second. You kind of hear echoes of her screams of pain and curses. Holy shit, most of the screams of pain are followed by various amounts of curses. But the next flash forms. And you immediately are greeted by the smell of a very strong perfume. It's almost sickening. It's like, it's very floral and almost overwhelming, like when you're walking past or walking into a Bath and Body Works or Victoria's Secret. Like, it's very, or a Lush store. It is very overwhelming, and you see this dark manor or castle start to lay out in front of you. And you look out the window.
Yeah, I'll look out the window.
You see some very, very cold and foggy mountains. And I gotta think. What do I want you to roll?
Oh, do you want me to roll history?
I was gonna have you
Or
roll
nature?
geography. Like, what's a fucking geography check?
Nature, that'd probably be nature.
That would more than
History,
likely, yeah.
history or
History,
nature?
nature.
It would
I'll roll
be.
history then. Well, history or nature, it really just depends on how old. Like if it's like an old landmark, probably history. But I'll just
Actually,
roll.
one.
If you do history,
I'm better at history, so I'm gonna do that one.
almost fucked up.
I'll use my armor. Why not?
Also, DM me your question. DM me your
That
question.
is a 31.
DM me your question. Sorry.
But say I don't have a question.
Who are
No,
you
I
talking to?
fucking menace over here.
So you just got a 27. I got a 31.
Anyway, okay, so both of you recognize this. You recognize these as the mountainous border between Nadal and Aronia.
Okay.
Um,
Does this matter happen to have any symbols on it that may describe what family it belonged to?
not exactly.
Okay.
But you do have, like, as you're kind of sitting in this hallway, you see, Voyage a little bit older now, probably about a year or two older now. You
Probably
see her
9 or
kind of
10.
stumble out of her room,
Alright.
and like it looks like she was running from something. Just because of how fast she ran out of the room and tried to turn the corner, she ended up like sliding into the wall and then had to get up and continue running. And you see the woman that, bought her from the previous memory. You see her following out, and she is she's not tall, like she's probably about 5'7". She seems to be like an elf, maybe a half elf of some kind. But you see now what you were missing before. You realize that this woman is a vampire. And she's coming storming out of this room and immediately looking for Voyage, but Voyage has scampered off to God knows where. And again, this memory shifts. And you are immediately hit with the smell of the sea and humidity and the sound of a bunch of people bustling and people like dock work, people loading stuff onto ships.
I wonder, is this Pirate
And
Idris? But so do I happen to recognize these docks?
no, but Idris does.
Hmm.
He recognizes this as one of the few. He recognizes us as one of the most southern port towns he ever went to, as it's basically at the very end of Nadal. And you guys see Voyage sneaking into a barrel. Like she kind of tossed some stuff out so she could fit, and she kind of just sneaks into a barrel and just kind of sits there and hides. And a few moments later, you see a much younger but familiar face kind of hoist up the barrel and load it onto a ship.
I'm guessing it's Idris.
Who is this familiar person?
Your wife?
Oh!
Excuse me, my wife?
And
The dead one to clarify for everyone,
Excuse me, is that my ship? Like our ship that we had?
Yes.
Oh my god, I have to say, like father, like daughter.
Okay, I'm
Anyway.
gonna so and Astral's going to look up to Idris and say, I'm guessing you know her.
I mean, Idris would be like dead set staring at his wife, his dead wife, and he would just honestly, he'd seem shocked, but also be connecting the pieces. Because I'm assuming he was the one who found Voyage. But at Astral's question, he'd just softly nod his head and go, "Yes, that was my wife, Zora."
I see. It seems your wife is responsible for bringing Voyage aboard your ship. How ironic.
And the imagery shifts one more time. And again, you kind of see the flashes of the torture. And now you are in the stowaway, or the stow place, the storage place of the ship. And you see Voyage poke her head out. And not Idris, Astral.
Okay.
You recognize this as the dream becoming stable.
Okay, so she can now be interacted with.
Mm-hmm.
Is she still young?
Yes, she seems to be about 12.
So, like, since the dream is stable, Astral's going to use what control he has and put a pause dream. So the memory doesn't, continue while they're interacting with her, so he doesn't want to mess everything up. And does she see us?
She sees Idris.
And Astral just says, "That was your chance."
Bro, I have no clue what I'm gonna fucking do. Would it out of character, because Idris is a lot smarter than I am. Because I'm trying to think, would it be better to act like the memory is still continuing, or just going to talk to her? Because I feel
Considering
like
you touched her 3 seconds into the memory, it might just be better to talk to her.
And plus Astral has put a pause on the memory so it doesn't continue while we talk to her.
Yeah.
She'll still be able to interact with us and we'll be able to walk around, but the memory will not continue while we're talking to her.
I'm horrible with kids. What the fuck am I gonna say to a kid?
Horrible with kids,
Horrible
yet has
kids
adopted everyone on the earth.
Yeah, keeps adopting them.
That's why I held my finger up. I said, "Give me a second." But Idris is gonna take a step forward, but he's gonna keep his distance to where Voyage is not within touch range or anything. And one sec.
No pressure.
It does that, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
Max, we can hear you
Echo.
through Eli's mic.
Yeah. It's because my sensitivity's really down right now while he's talking. I need to turn it back up. But Idris would stay a bit ways away. And he'd out of character, I'm a horrible dad. In character, I'm a great dad, but my out of characterness is not working with me today.
Astral just kind of looks up at Idris and says, "Would you like some help?"
Idris would look to him and nod his head and be like, "That would be helpful," because I'm not certain what I should say.
And Astral's going to speak up, and he's going to look at Voyage and say, "A stowaway." Your name is Voyage.
You gonna continue from that?
Yes.
Nope.
This is your name.
Okay.
Your name is Voyage, isn't it?
And you see her nod.
Do you know what this is?
Anyway, so she just kind of stops for a moment. And you see her kind of come out of the barrel, and she's got a couple she's got a banana peel kind of sticking to her leg, and she kind of brushes that off. And for a moment, she just stares at you guys as a small child. And the memory just kind of, I don't know. It's not Idris, or not Idris. Fuck, Astral. You can tell that it's not that memory anymore, but nothing visually changes.
So it basically she changed, but the memory didn't.
Yes. So, like, all
Okay.
that happened was that she basically took you guys out of the memory and
We're now
placed
talking
you somewhere
to
else.
her, like her herself. Okay.
And she kind of pauses for a moment more and says, "This is a dream."
You are correct. I am a good friend of Idris, and he has asked me to help you. You've been through quite a lot the past year, haven't you?
And she thinks about it for a moment. And she says, "A little bit."
And like he doesn't like call bullshit. He's like, yes, a little bit. You're not well, but that's why we're here. We're here to bring back what little remains of the mind that was before, in hopes of restoring you to who you were before. Unfortunately, without extensive work and resources, I cannot remove all of the memories of you. I can only dull it slightly, make it easier to bear.
And Voya just kind of thinks, and she stops for another moment. She just kind of says, "What if I don't want to come back?"
Then that is your choice. And he says, but there are people that need you, that care about you still. The world feels like it's collapsing in on it. Even if we can save just one soul, and right now, the person we're trying to help is you. Do you have anything to say, Idris?
He's getting to that point.
It's funny. I was waiting for you to stop talking.
Oh, I didn't even hear you unmute.
Because you kind of kept going. Yeah. My headphones don't unmute, like, make a sound most of the time, sometimes. But, I mean, Idris would have spoken up to Voyage. And, I mean, he looks... I mean, he does look sad, but he also is just, like, in an understanding tone, in a sense. And he'd go, Voyage, whatever you choose to do, the choice is yours. And no matter what you choose, I want you to understand and know that I love you and I do care about you. And Zill and the others do as well. And you're always welcome in our family and always have been. And it's okay if you don't want. I'm sorry. I was being stared at.
Max, you're fucking up his flow. Stop it.
But he'd continue and he'd go, it's... The choice is entirely up to you. And just know that whatever you choose, it's going to be okay. I'll be sure I make it okay. As long as you're okay with what you want, I'm okay with it too.
And Voyage kind of looks to you, Idris, and she narrows her eyes. She goes, "You're supposed to be dead."
Idris would give a soft sigh, and he'd nod and go, I was dead, but Kree brought me back to life. And through that, I was soulless for a time, but I just recently got my soul back as well. And like he's going to glance at Astro because I mean, he hasn't told the party he's gotten his soul back, but it's very obvious.
Astral assumed because he's like, yeah, there's something different about you.
He has humor now.
He's actually emotional.
I don't think Astral assumed you got your soul back, but he assumed that something definitely happened while you were like inside whatever the fuck her name was. Does he want Astral to say something, or are you gonna keep talking? Okay,
I was gonna keep going.
Go for it.
But he would continue and go, I do have my soul back, and for what it's worth, I am going to age like a normal dog folk should now.
Well, if I go back, then where's Envy gonna go?
She will still be here. Your trauma can never be taken away. That part of you will always be there. But she will be suppressed.
Well,
if you wish, I can make
Envy's
it where
not.
you can still speak with her.
And you see you see Voyage, she kind of looks off to the side and opens a cupboard, and inside you can kind of see like there's a couple pillows that kind of flop out of it. And you see this little odd green looking creature poke a head out. Sorry, the way you just looked at me. Anyway, you see this odd green looking creature. It's kind of traveling on all fours. It seems to have a mouth that runs like basically it looks like a lizard, sort of, if someone forgot how to make a lizard and then its mouth doesn't really end where its mouth should be. It kind of goes all the way down its sides.
I know you were referencing the show, but I only saw one picture of that thing. Like, come on.
I changed the design up a little bit. But
Alright, fair enough.
because the mouth from that one that goes just down its stomach. This one goes down its sides. It just kind of
There's a difference.
quirks its head out and stares.
I'm guessing this is Envy.
Yes. I mean, Envy's not a... I guess you kind of came into this thinking Envy was a trauma response.
But Envy is an actual physical being.
Yes.
Now that is interesting.
They just needed a host.
And you're saying you want to keep Envy?
And you see Voyage kind of pause. And she looks back and stares at Envy. And this little creature kind of just stares back.
I look at him, and he looks
He's looking at me. Look
And
at him.
Voyage says, I actually don't know.
Idris would speak up and he would go, I'm not sure how long we have, but like he'd kind of look to Astral to see and like try and gauge if he would possibly have a concept of how much time they would have in this dream.
Dream time moves very, very slowly.
Excuse me.
We theoretically have all the time in the world, but if Voyage were to become upset for some reason, it could destabilize the dream realm when we would be.
He would end up nodding his head and looking to Voyage and just kind of go, well, if you want, we can give you some time to think.
And while you guys were talking, like as you kind of look back, you realize that Envy and Voyage were like mid-conversation when you turned back. And Voyage just she pauses the conversation to listen to Idris, then kind of goes back to talking to Envy.
And Astro just says, despite whether or not you want to, there still has to be something that has to be. Your physical body has been changed by, and if it goes unchecked, it could possibly get worse. Even if Envy doesn't intend to do it.
And Voyage just kind of sighs and just
I do have an idea.
says,
I could.
we've...
Go ahead.
She just kind of says, we've come to an agreement.
And what is
Sort
that?
of. I'll go back.
And Envy?
There's a lot of dead bodies out there.
And what will Envy do once they have a new host?
Whatever Envy does.
I see. Well, I am glad that you have decided to come back.
Idris also is going.
Astral.
I'm waiting.
Sorry. I'm sorry, it's just
Don't you astral me.
But Idris would speak up and he'd look at Voyage and Envy and he would go, do we need to help Envy find a new body?
I'll take care of it. And like you see Voyage try to take a second. And like you kind of see that she's aging from being 12 to her current state.
Hmm.
Her current age.
Astral just says we can end the dream at any time. Whenever you're ready.
And Voyage just goes, end the dream, but give me some time.
Very well. Are you ready, Idris? Is there anything else you want to say?
Going to just shake my head. Google, stop telling me it's my fucking birthday. But
Happy
he's
birthday,
going
birthday!
Also happy
Shut the
birthday,
fuck up,
Eli.
okay, people?
Yeah.
I can't hear him if you guys are all screaming.
I fucking hate you all. Anyways, fuck you guys and your fucking happy birthdays.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
But Idris would end up just shaking his head, and he'd go, I don't think so, for now. We can talk once everything's settled.
Very well. I recommend you try not to stand up too quickly. It can be disorienting. And Astral is going to drop the dream. And I don't know. I don't know if dream instantly wakes up everybody, but in this particular, probably would. And we're all awake in the waking world.
So,
Ooga booga.
as you kind of see that as you're kind of waking up, you see that Voyage woke up before you, and you're kind of glad you did. She did wake up before you because sitting in her lap, you're not sure where it came from, is that little lizard. He seems rather slimy and bloody. And
We do not want to know how he got out.
Voyage just kind of seems to be readjusting her eye patch.
Oh.
Oh.
Man, okay, Max. Oh, if there's one thing I can't handle, it's stuff with eyes. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Man. Oh,
I guess
But
that
see
didn't
what
suck.
you mean.
Cameron, I'm going to kill you.
Anyway, you were saying?
You love me.
Okay. Gagging. Okay. Jesus Christ.
It wasn't that
Did you-
funny, Max. Jeez.
Did you make Eli throw up?
You know, he just looked at me absolutely horrified.
I can
He's
just imagine the
currently-
look on his face.
He's
Just like,
currently dry heaving. Are you okay?
Wait, are you guys in
I
a
don't
car?
think he is.
No.
no.
He's currently shoved in the corner of my room. But
Oh.
Voyage just kind of picks up Envy, and like Envy's small enough that Voyage's hand just kind of, you know how people hold their rats?
Me when I
Yeah.
fucking get you.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! A rat.
It's kind of how Envy is being held, and Envy just kind of goes limp. But Voyage says, I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm gonna go find this thing a body before it dies. And she just kind of gets up and walks over a little bit outside. However, she doesn't need to walk far. There's a lot of corpses.
Conveniently, with their eyes stabbed out.
Listen.
It's either that or even an even more disgusting hole.
Don't you mean it's either that?
I'm killing both you and Cameron, I swear to God.
You
okay,
love us.
so
Up top, Eli.
with that, I'm guessing she finds a body for Envy.
Mm-hmm. She does.
I'm gonna say that Astral's been following this whole time. I assume Idris has also been following. So we can talk to Voyage. And like, does the body just kind of like start to rise, like when Envy like goes inside of it?
So you kind of
You don't have to explain it going in, but just the aftermath of what
yeah.
happens.
So
It was begging you not to.
I wasn't gonna do that. I was thinking about what was happening. Anyway. So, I mean, you see the body starting to like tense up
hmm
um before it just seems to start healing.
Okay, it's like reanimating.
Mm-hmm. This takes a few seconds because there's a lot of injuries on this corpse, and it seemed to have been rotting for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but it's gonna take a while. So Voya just kind of looks to both of you, her normal deadpan face.
Okay.
She's just,
I'm just waiting for Idris. Like I'm gonna let him take the lead on this one.
I mean, he just doesn't really have any words. He's kind of just he's kind of got like this bittersweet smile because it's like he's like glad that his daughter's okay and like whatnot, but it's also just like like kind of like having to watch a friend or having to watch like your own kid go through something horrible and you wish you could have done something, but there was
Yeah.
nothing you could have done. That's how Idris is looking right now.
Okay.
Voya's just kind of
Vibing.
she's just waiting for someone to say something. Woo, anyway. After a few seconds, she kind of walks away. And before not walks away, she looks away, and she kind of then looks to a bunch of blobs in the distance. And she kind of like squints her eyes at them and says, "Is that your party?"
Oh no, I don't like how she said that.
Like, I'm gonna look over to the party. Is that our party? Like, the blobs? Are they our
Yes.
group? Okay. Idris is going to sigh and nod,
Reluctantly.
and he's going to go, yes. And Zilla's there as well.
What shenanigans is the party doing at the moment?
Well, Dimitri is just helping Oregon Zenith with like helping people that are alive.
Yeah, no, Zenith is carrying like 5 or 6 guards who are kind of like conked out on his shoulders. And Oryx literally making a bunch of food while moving and talking to people and making sure that there's people knowing that there's a line for him to give them food and drinks and healing.
Demetrius is helping find people. So
Zenith and Oric. I mean, you don't find very many people. I'll be honest. You don't find very many people at all. But as you guys are like kind of moving some rubble, like Oric, you're watching. You've got distracted by this adorable family of mice that just they stared at you and they were just the best thing ever because it was the parents and it was like 3 little babies and it was so cute.
They've been
And
adopted. They've been adopted.
and as you're kind of just you're just kind of absolutely enjoying these mice, you feel like this little zoop, and you kind of look behind you where Zenith was just a few moments ago, and he's not there.
Huh?
And then suddenly you feel the floor give out from under you, and you look down, and you fall.
He's gonna yell out for Astral.
Oh,
Further help!
like I'm guessing Astral sees this from like really far
Yes.
away.
You also watch Zenith fall.
Oh, and
Zenith would have yelled something about, "Don't make sure Sloth doesn't die."
Dimitri's in the distance, like, what the fuck?
So like
And-
Astral was gonna say something, but before he can, like Oric is just fucking gone, and he is like Astral's just like, oh, God damn it, not again, because he knows what this is at this point, like it's pretty obvious what this is, you know, given what's happened before, and
Man, they're on a vacation
Astral
now.
votes gun.
Astra's like, oh, goodness, and Astral just says, well, that is not good. And
Come on, who's gonna name my other 2 abominations?
Astral
Orc
just
already
says,
did. They
was
already
that
have collars.
Was that
Astral just
Sloth?
says,
That was Sloth.
Astral just
Okay.
says, do not worry, they will be back within a week's time. I only wish it did
Ever
not have to happen now.
out character?
I'm sure it'll be fine. We can live without them.
Right?
Astral just says, I was hoping all it wouldn't happen. But I suppose that was too much to ask for. And
Damn, the portal was
yeah,
a while.
Astral just says, shouldn't
Teresa,
someone
alright.
else have come through by now?
Dimitri in the distance, like, what the fuck is happening?
And Voyager's just gonna walk over. And you guys hear something start to drag, and if you guys follow Envy or follow Voyage, and you kind of see Envy trying to move as well, but he's not quite ready yet. He's army crawling.
Who's army crawling?
Envy.
Towards the portal?
Towards the people. Like they're following Voyage.
Dimitri's just gonna need to keep helping people because that's none of his business.
Idris just gonna like look at Envy and kind of be like, do you need help?
And
Sorry. That's what I just imagine it sounding like.
Envy just kind of looks to Idris and like they cock their neck at a weird angle because they can't entirely like turn it yet, so it's just kind of anyway.
My man has to get a software update. Give him a minute.
So
Or
he just kind
hardware.
of turns his head to look at Idris, and they take a moment and just frog blink.
You just be kind of like crouched down so they wouldn't have to like crane their neck. And like he'd just be like, if you want, until you can move properly, I can carry you if you need that.
And you hear Envy make this god-awful hum, and it just seems like they're trying to see if their vocal cords can be used, and no, they cannot. But they just look away from Idris and continue.
Okay, so I'm assuming they don't want help. He's just gonna like watch Envy for a second, and he's gonna look so like confused. Like, I'm sorry, this is like gonna be his another kid. Like, fair warning.
How many?
He's already
do you
thinking of
need?
adoption.
This
He's making
thing is
not
like
gonna
bigger
lie,
than you.
Zill's
This thing
listen,
is
not gonna lie.
new.
Zill's gonna find out
So?
he's goopy and want to adopt him as well.
Just
So
make an orphanage at this point for the love of it.
Zill and Idris are a goopy couple. They'll talk about their feelings later, but they're going to adopt this. This is going to be their child. This is going to be their other child. Like, this is Voyage's sibling.
At this point,
Anyways.
let's make an orphanage.
It already
Sorry.
has been. Anyways, Idris would just end up letting out a soft sigh and walk. Like, he would just kind of walk alongside Envy just to make sure that they're doing fine as they kind of follow Voyage.
I mean, eventually they start to be able to crawl. It's a bow-legged crawl, and I mean they're still dragging their legs a bit, but they're getting somewhere. So, to make sure it wasn't muted. But I mean, as you're getting closer, there's still like no sign of the other person.
And then they suddenly just get catapulted through the portal.
and then suddenly, but as
And
you
just
guys are
hit
getting
the car.
closer,
What
you can see Kane kind of looking around where Zenith and Oric fell through, and a few more seconds pass, and suddenly a portal opens up above Kane, and plopped into her arms is this Asimar. And Finn, would you like to describe your character as you land in the arms of an unfamiliar Leonin, who just seems shocked that you fell in her arms?
For Trey's context, a Leonin is a lion person.
Well,
Just
yeah,
for
it's how Levi's
okay,
characters.
I was just making sure.
Yeah. So, as Kane looks down at this tiny human, because you can't really tell that they're an Asmar just by looking at them.
Yeah, you're right. I just didn't remember what their base race was.
Yeah, it was human. People in the audience, forget you heard anything about Asmars. They're human.
Didn't hear
Anyway.
shit. Now bleep it out.
So, Kane, as you're looking down at this human that you look down and like you can't quite tell if they're male or female, but they are quite adorable, as so far as humans go, at least. And they are wearing. I need to look at Finn's picture again.
Well, they would be actually in their whole armor because I actually allowed you guys to change into your normal stuff. So Finn has all their equipment.
Yep, and I'm trying to find Finch Patrician so I can actually accurately describe this. So you see a white, snow white hair, long snow white hair tied into a long ponytail, looking human with darker skin for the audience to imagine better, wearing what looks to be red, black, and gold antimant
Slow down.
Adamantine.
Adamantine.
Slow down and think it over.
Antimantine. No.
Adamantine. Sure,
Adamantine. Adamantine.
Let's
Like
just give him
manatee.
one. We let's just don't give him two. Just give him one and let him stick with it.
Adamantine.
There we go. There we go.
With a looks to be very good sized warhammer on their back. And they're looking up at you going, what? Where? Huh? What?
Soteria! I'm sorry, Joe.
And Kane just kind of like switches their hold on Finn, so it's not bridal style. It's kind of, they just kind of, she grabs their shoulders and gently sets them down, and it's just like, hello?
Hi, where am I?
You are in Leistein. Artuan, I believe the dimension is called.
This is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Astral is still approaching at this point, so like he doesn't he doesn't really know, but like he's just like he's dreading the moment where he has to come over here.
Is that the one with the bad economy?
I mean, technically, yes.
Damn, Finn.
Well, that's all they really knew of.
I know.
But is this the one with Mr. Astral?
And like
What did you
Kane
say?
just kind of points over to the approaching pony.
Finn looks very worried when you look over, but then they slowly turn to a smile,
It's
seeing
like
a familiar face.
and like Astral's like Finn. Oh, I never thought I'd see you again.
Hi, Mr. Astral.
He's like, hello, Finn. I'm guessing you were transported.
Yes.
That is.
I heard chalk, and now I'm here.
And like, it says, well, welcome to Artawan. This is the place that your friend Soteria visited when I switched with him. So,
And Finn, do you look around to your surrounding area?
Finn is like kind of
bodies
looking around,
everywhere.
So you see the remnants of a war-desecrated city, and you see the corpses of soldiers, some civilians, and some strange, very cursed-looking also creatures. I mean, you also see a few living abominations. They all seem to be surrounding this metal guy who has a limp arm, and he's just kind of standing there.
I thought he was holding his other arm in his right hand.
I mean, he was at first, but now he's not. He's just letting it hang there.
Finn is immediately looking much more scared now. Looking at everything.
I mean, you also see this white tiefling approaching, and there's like this corpse kind of army crawling, or like, you know how people stand, or like how they rapidly you know how people like when they bend, they'll prop themselves up and bend their elbows and they'll crawl like bow-legged with their elbows. Yeah, that's basically what it's doing.
So yeah, Finn is like slowly grabbing her necklace to try and call Mother Virtual.
You feel the faintest connection, but it does not seem to go through.
Finn's going to
Eat an
get in
energy
the
with
fetal
this one, I
position.
see.
Finn's getting into the fetal position and cry.
And Kane just kind of pats Finn on the shoulder before just being like, "Can I move you possibly out of this hellhole?"
Please.
Okay. And Kane is very going to very carefully kind of like pick Finn up and cradle them in her arms, and she carries Finn to the cart.
Also, Max, to make it funnier, I'm gonna have Dimitri go back to the cart to check on the children, but we get to focus on Finn for now, and we can get to me eventually.
Like, if anyone could read minds, all they can hear from Finn is going, "Oh, my virtual. Oh, my virtual.
I mean, Astro can, but he usually doesn't. But he's not
Finn's
going
freaking
to.
the F out.
Astro is
Yeah.
gonna go with Finn and Kane because he's been in this situation before and he knows like he freaked out too. He's like, I'll try to see if I can help with my experience. So that's where he's gonna be for now.
The only bad thing is Finn's still like technically a sheltered child, so all this is extremely unnerving for him. You have not seen this much dead bodies before. They are going to cry.
Welcome to the internet to have a look around.
We're about to see so many more. Anyway.
Poor Finn.
Kane's used to this.
Oh my god. Also, who are you? And like Finn's like looking up at Kane.
And Kane just says, "My name is Kane. Is there anything else you'd like to know?" And like she says this as she's kind of like getting onto the cart and opening the door.
Why were there so many dead bodies?
Well, One's in a bit of a pickle. We're at war. We aren't. More so, the gods are at war, and we are caught in between. And the people who believe in whatever gods, they kind of just died with their gods. It's a mess.
Oh. Waterfall, help.
What did you say, Trey?
Waterfall, help.
Ah, I see. And Kane just kind of pats Finn on the head before walking them down the hallway, and they just kind of set Finn down and say, "You can just open a door, and the room will customize to you. If you're hungry, just walk up to the dining well, just walking up to a seat in the dining table. It's already set, and anything you want will appear."
That sounds like a very advanced magic.
It's just Lawa.
Loud?
And Finn, you suddenly see this bush person kind of appear, and they say, "Hello, I am Lawa."
You're... Oh.
No, I'm just gonna say that Dimitri's like kind of like walking by and he just stops and looks like, who is this?
Kane is just like, what is your name?
Oh, many apologies. Sorry. I
Nope,
am
you're
Finn
fine.
Terranfire.
Welcome, Finn.
Oh,
Finn,
I
this
see.
is
Well,
Dimitri.
hi. And
Dimitri,
then
if you're gonna be awkward, leave. Now.
I was gonna say that, Max, but you didn't give me a chance. Like when Dimitri hears Finn's last name, he just kind of quickly shuffles away.
And, okay.
I guess he doesn't like me.
No, that's not it. He's just awkward.
You don't want to know.
Well, he needs any medical help. I'm a doctor.
That's not the kind of help he needs.
Are you
Anyway.
a therapist?
Just
Yeah.
feel free. Mind the children. They run about sometimes.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Kane.
And you know Astral. Then you've met Dimitri. The big dog folk is Idris, and the lady who smells like rotting flowers and sometimes a rotting corpse, that is Zil.
Oh?
And then there's another Leonin who'll be around here. Her name is Quincy, but she doesn't leave her room very often.
We own all these new things are fit. It's finished not made a dog boat or Leonin before, so just all new. Finished looking very confused when you mentioned these races.
And basically, at seeing this, Kane just says, I'm a Leonin. Leonin are lion people. Basically, bigger, beefier tabaxis. Don't say that to their face. It's the fastest way to get punched. Dog folk are just tabaxis but dog. Don't say that to their face. But I mean, you don't really have to worry about that because dog folk aren't common. But that's besides the point. I think I've gone over everyone.
Okay.
Kane quickly saying, "Don't say this. You will get."
And
He was gonna
as
go,
all this,
you will get your... Oh, sorry.
and as all this happened, Finn's gonna like reach into her bag and like pull out Eve, and like just go Eve.
For copyright reasons, it's a fox.
Copyright reasons, the fox. Anyway, but
That looks weird.
Kane
Yeah,
just kind of like tilts her head and she says, I've never seen a creature like that.
Oh, does someone not have insert copyright-free
Pocket monsters. We
pocket
agreed they were
monster
called pocket
here?
monsters.
No, they're creatures. That has never heard that term. They're just a regular creature. There's no classification, you fucking twats.
Twats.
Anyway.
They're affected by magical radiation, you dicks. You know.
Anyway, copyright-free pocket monster.
I hate you all.
But anyway, but Kane would just say, No, I don't believe we do. Have
Okay.
things like that.
It's already a very strange world. Bodies everywhere. No copyright-free pocket monsters.
Why do you guys do this to me?
Because we love
Because
you.
we love you.
Cameron, you do this to yourself.
Oh yeah, you're one to talk, fucking Milo pony.
I mean, to be fair,
Hey,
I
at,
would
at
say
least
that's my
at least
name,
I
but
copy something
lawyers.
worth copying.
Damn.
And you know, at least I don't copy anything at all.
Oh
Side eye,
shit!
side eye.
Anyway.
But Kane will just kind of pat Finn on the soldier. Soldier?
Soldier?
76.
Pat Finn on the shoulder and say, "If you need anything, my room is just a few doors down from yours, and the Astrals is across the hall from yours."
Yes, anytime you need to speak, I
Where the
will be
fuck did you
available.
come from?
I've
He
been
was
here the
following.
entire time.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, no, I know why. It's because he's short. And she's tall.
I mean, like, to be fair, Astral is very short.
I mean, I'm not
my
wrong.
God. That was so funny. Thank you, Miss Kane, Mr. Astro. I'll go
You're
read
very
them.
welcome.
And Kane also just kind of thinks for a moment and says, "There's also going to be this light pinkish purplish tiefling that's wandering around here. He's armless. Nope, he's regrowing an arm. He's recovering here for a little bit. So I don't know where he is. I think Idris kind of holed him up in his room, but
His arm would be regrown by now.
shut up.
Sorry.
His
It's
name is
not-
Corsandus.
For Sanders. Very interesting.
Of course, Sandy's not. I'm sorry.
Silver?
Does he? Does he
I
need
pulled
medical
an
help?
Eli first.
Yeah, Eli just went. Only Idris can call him that. Only his wife can call him that. Corsandus is, not Zora.
I was going to say
To
Zill.
your knowledge.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Anyway,
does Mr. Cassandras need medical help?
he's. You know what? When the dog folk comes back in here, talk that over with him, because that's actually a good idea.
Shit,
Okay.
you're right.
What's a good idea?
I will look for a dog.
Wasn't listening.
His name was Idris.
Idris.
Mr. Idris. Okay. And like Finn's gonna like just turn around to go to the door of room. Door, the door that we're sleeping. What is it called?
Your
Bedroom.
room.
There we
The
go.
room.
I'm
Okay.
so sure to take that name.
Anyway, so Kane is gonna walk off somewhere deeper in the tavern cart, and bless me,
Yes.
a little sleepy.
Is this the
No,
end of session, Max? What time is it?
It's 10:11. It's not the fucking end of session. It's
Well,
Also, I
9:11 for you.
What to say?
barely
it's,
any
it's,
of us
it's,
got shit, man. Like, calm
I'm
down.
about to say it's kind of early. I'm about to say I was like, I thought you were saying that as like a way to say, oh hey, it's at the end of session. I'm like, really?
No,
not
I'm
much else
just
has been
sleepy
done.
because I'm running on 6 hours of sleep.
Only
Barely.
6?
Fair.
Well, really, it's 3 with because I got 3 hours of solid sleep and then I was on and off. And Eli's nodding because it was the same. Okay. Anyway,
I'm sorry, but the way you said that implicated something. And
Anyways.
it was not because of that, it was
Anyways.
just because we couldn't
shut
sleep in the
up!
fucking
You are
hotel
speaking
room.
too much.
You're
You're
speaking
making
too
it
much.
worse. You're making it
The fuck
worse,
up.
Eli.
It's like that
Shut
guy.
the fuck up!
At least when I
Eli,
can't
this is
sleep
a
because I'm
time to
busy
be
making out with my
silent.
boyfriend, I'm honest about it.
Anyway, anyway. Oh fuck!
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Where was I?
Kane was like walking off into
Kane's
like
leaving.
the.
Kane's gone. Astral, what the fuck are you doing?
Astral, he's after talking to Finn, he's just gonna go to his room and just kind of chill out for a little bit. He's a little exhausted
Okay.
from what he had to do.
And
I
Finn,
can
how are
go.
you feeling?
Oh, never mind.
Stress, nervous, extremely anxiety ridden.
So
I
But
will
normal.
most importantly, very
say,
sad.
I will say, as you walk into the room, it basically shapes itself to everything that you need and want. And as it shapes itself, you notice in the corner, in this little tunnel, a gecko runs out of the tunnel and just stops and stares at you.
Oh, I think I read about this. This is a Komodo dragon.
And the gecko just kind of stares at you like, really?
Okay, that's actually really funny.
It has that energy of that kid in that meme that's like looking at that field of ducks. He's like, look at all those chickens.
I
Oh,
love
goodness.
that meme.
Look, Eve, a Komodo dragon. Like Finn is like holding Eve, like how you would hold a cat or a dog, showing it to somebody else, showing it to the gecko. And like Eve is staring at the gecko while holding a kitchen knife. Where did it get? We don't know, but it has one.
We don't
The
talk about how
gecko,
Finn gets
without
things.
turning its back, slowly backs into the pipe.
Okay, bye, Mr. Komodo dragon. He seems nice. I should probably go find Mr. Idris.
Okay. And
And, like,
Idris, where
Finn's-
are you at the
Where are you?
moment?
Well, I mean, where would Voyage be? Because Idris is probably kind of like still. I'm sorry, he's kind of like doing that, like, dad, fucking protective dad that, like, kind of watches from a distance type thing. Or
And
just, like, is nearby.
Voyage is
Damn, I
currently
wish my head was-
trying to help Envy stand. Like, they're just kind of holding Envy's body under by the armpits and just kind of holding them up. And Voyage like looks over to Idris and says, "You're hovering."
Okay, being a helicopter parent again.
Idris is going to, like, kind of be like. He's going to, like, rub the back of his neck and go, would you like me to leave?
I don't know.
If you would like, I can stay still. And, like, he's gonna take in, he's gonna, like, sigh softly, and he's just gonna go, I just recently got my soul back, so there's a lot of emotional turmoil happening currently.
I remember what you said. And Voyage just kind of takes a moment, and like Envy kind of gains their footing and stumbles forward a bit and kind of sits there for a moment and stands there before just standing up straight, letting their arms go to their side, and then taking off running. And
Dash
To the wind.
dash legs.
they just seem to be running in circles mostly. Not anywhere in particular, just you know, how kids go. But Envy just kind of Voyage looks back to Idris and says, "You don't have to watch over me. I'm fully capable to exist by myself and keep..." Oh, get that out of your mouth, please.
So I'm hearing this is my grandson out of character. Anyways, he just he would kind of give a soft laugh. Like, it's not really like filled with humor or anything. It's kind of like, I don't know, more relief. But he'd nod and go, "I know I don't have to, Voyage, but like I said, you're still family to me, and you're still my daughter, and I just want to make sure that even though you are a grown woman, I still do see you as a child sometimes. So yes, I do feel like I still need to protect you."
Oh, fuck. Anyway, Voyage just kind of sits there a moment and says, your party kind of needs you. It just seems like you guys are getting ready to go. Do you even know where you're going next?
No, but I think a few minutes here won't kill them.
Actually, yes, one's dying over there. I'm kidding.
But Voyage would just nod and say, "After this, I will probably make my way back to the house."
Idris would end up nodding and he'd go, "Just a fair warning, I'll be sure to contact him, but your uncle is currently there. Croza is. Because I didn't know he was alive until I started journeying with this party, but
Out of character,
I'm
she
not
saw
sure
him at the funeral.
Oh shit, yeah. Sorry, recap that.
Yeah, I
Well,
was gonna be like,
I don't
wait.
know that Idris. I don't know that.
Idris doesn't know
I
that.
wasn't at the Idris.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, he'd just kind of speak up and continue that, and he'd be like, "My brother should be at the house. I
I've
don't."
met him before.
Oh. Like, he just kind of put two and two together. He's just like, "Oh, okay."
That makes a lot of sense.
Terrace and Cree, I believe, are there or nearby with Solar. I'm not certain what's happening there, but apparently something is, so Okroza might be babysitting Cree. I don't... I'll have to check in soon, because I don't know how Cree's doing after everything.
And she just kind of nods and says, I forgot what I was gonna have her say. So
We can just cut Finn like walking up.
yeah. Finn, you see the corpse now running in circles a couple feet away, like about 30 feet away from where Idris is talking to a white tiefling.
All I can think about is this is such a very strange convention. Nothing makes sense here.
Does anything make sense regardless?
But Finn's gonna slowly start walking to Idris, but like not gonna get too close because Finn noticed they're talking to someone, so they're just gonna stand awkwardly holding Eve. Fuck.
I mean, I assume Idris would end up feeling like he was being watched because of his sixth fucking sense when it comes to this fucking party. And he'd kind of like after he finished talking with Voyage, because he was kind of waiting on her to respond, but she forgot it, and was like, just instead of watching Envy, he'd kind of turn around to see Finn and like, he'd raise an eyebrow and kind of connect of the switch, the dimensional switch, and he'd go, "Oh, is there something I can help you with?"
Are you Mr. Idris?
The second Idris hears Mr. Idris, he's going to like get a little bit of a disgruntled look, and he's like, yes, but don't call me Mr., please. It makes me feel old."
Makes you feel old?
just hear fucking Voyage in the distance. You are old, you old fuck.
Forget it. You hear Voyage snicker.
Like, at her snicker, like, Idris's ear would twitch a little bit, but he doesn't acknowledge it, and he'd just go, "Yes, it makes me feel old. You can just call me Idris."
Okay, mystery.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. Idris. It feels weird to say that. Potter always said to be polite. Anyway, Sue was about to accidentally say Mr. again, but then caught himself say, Idris, I heard that you have someone by the name of
Corsandus.
Down.
Corsandus. Fuck, I said it wrong.
Of course, hound this.
Cassandras.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
Idris
the
would
is not very good.
Shh. Peace.
Idris would just nod his head and go, yes, I do. Is there something you're needing with him?
From the way they were described, it sounded like they needed medical help, and I wanted to offer my services. From where I'm from, Bilba, I think is what it is called. I'm a doctor, and I heal my party whenever we get a chance to heal. And I wanted to help.
Idris would think, and he'd nod his head and just, I mean, he'd just go, okay, I can lead you to where Corsandus is. I'm not sure if he's hurt anywhere else, and because Oric started having his arm regrow, I think that was the most damage, but I can lead you to the room I have him at. And like, he'd look back to Voyage and just like, you know, he'd give her like a little smile of just like, I don't know, the fucking dad smiles that always fuck.
The trophy dad
If you're
smile.
fine with it, I'll be back in a few minutes.
And Envy would just nod, and you guys kind of see this you see the corpse run back, and you see it fully now that the fucked up features of their face have healed, and they look more living, and their bodies parts seem to be working as normal, and they kind of stop, and you see this. They kind of have like a mess of darker brown curly hair with like some sun-kissed skin, and like all of where like their face had been brutalized, and they'd been dead. It's now scarred over, and you can kind of see where the person who previously owned the body had gotten tattoos, and this younger looking kid just kind of stops and stands next to Voyage.
So you're talking about my grandson?
And look amazed.
That's my grandson. He's my grandson now. He's either my son or my grandson. It depends on if Voyage adopts him.
Okay, anyway. So, after that, they kind of just quietly whisper to Voyage, and Voyage just like kind of nods, and they seem to be wrapped up in their own conversation as you two leave and go back to the cart.
And I mean, when they go back in, Idris would end up leading them to his room, and he'd knock on the door at first to kind of like see if Corsanus would answer.
And you hear a groan from the other side of the door of acknowledgement.
Of course. And I mean, Idris would open the door and walk inside. And
Inside, you see Corsandus, except he got tangled up in the bed sheets while trying to get up, and is now on the floor.
Idris is just going to sit there and watch him for a second, and then he's just going to go, "How the fuck did you get there? I was gone for... I don't think I leave you out of my sights every time for 5 minutes, and this is what I come back
I
to."
don't want to talk about it at all. I really don't want to talk about it. I took a fall. I'm old. It hurt.
I've fallen.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah. So Lynn's gonna place down Eve and like go to help Cassandra up.
Idris
Eve,
is like,
oh,
we shut the door so nobody can like see Corsanus's embarrassment. He'd walk into the room a little bit more.
Oh my god.
You're cutting out.
Fuck me, it's my service. Probably, I don't know. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. But, he'd just help Corsandus up as well and out of the sheet, and he'd just go, "I feel like this is almost as bad as the time that you..."
Shut up.
Say another goddamn word. I dare
Got
you.
stuck.
Got it.
Oh my... Anyway.
That's...
Corsandus kind of grabs Idris's muzzle.
He already said it. It's out there.
And you got caught, and it cut you off, so fuck off.
Well, like you got cut off. Like we didn't hear what you said, so.
Exactly.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so to say, I
No,
was mentioning...
Oh my god. Anyway.
So too late. Too late.
Also,
You're unmuted.
Hey,
I'm assuming you're Mr. Cassantis?
Yes, that is very much me.
Also, Idris,
Ow.
I'm sorry, I don't think I introduced myself earlier. I am Ben Terranfire. I am from Doba.
I assumed you were from somewhere, but I'm Idris Helsinger, and of course, Corsatus. And like he'd kind of like reach forward because he would have already removed Corsatus's hand for the snout, and he'd just kind of like politely bap him on the head.
What have I done to you to wrong you?
Well,
Shut up.
that's out of character, obviously, but
Look at him and just go.
If you mention anything that's happened within the last 5 years, that was not me. Except for that brief moment of confusion where I was not a tiefling. And that was really weird.
what?
You remember when Corsandus suddenly came to after getting shot
Oh,
by
yeah.
sniper dude? Yeah.
You were not a tiefling?
It's a long story.
Are you a changeling?
I am a changeling. No, fuck. Wait, what? I'm confused. I am a tiefling. Born and raised. Born and raised in the fucking wherever. It's complicated. I have been technically possessed for the last 5 years. Has it been 5 years?
Yes, it has been 5 years.
Oh my.
And at the same time, like Corsandus is just kind of Corsandus is going to kind of look to Idris and kind of push him back. It's just like, you are a fucking space heater. Please give me some space.
Idris is gonna like look at him confused and just go, "What are you talking about? I've always been very cold."
No, you are like staring at a fucking forest fire. Not forest fire. Fireplace.
A furnace?
A fireplace. When did you get in here, Astral?
Nah, it's not Astro. I was just stuck in the accent for a second.
Oh, yeah. So many people appearing on nowhere today. Oh my god. Anyway, Mr. Kiss.
You can just call him Core.
Mr. Core, I heard that you were hurt and I wanted to come offer my services. I'm a doctor from Silver and I want to help heal you any way I can.
Well, I feel like I got my shit kicked in, so glad you're here.
Yes.
And Finn, can you please roll a medical check? With
Yes.
advantage, because you're a doctor.
Where's your chat with rolling numbers?
Yes, that's English. Sorry.
Oh, here it is. That's right. Did I switch the pen? Or let me quickly check if I switched the pen. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I did not switch the pen. I'm still on common. Now, just not yet do this. And it's lost I chat. Oh no. Perception, probably. You said medicine?
Mm-hmm. With advantage.
Okay.
Mr. Squidward.
Let's see how you spell that. No. It's almost spell medicine for you real quick.
One.
Medicine?
MEDIE.
No, Mike.
Nope. MEDICINE.
I feel like Max read what Kirsten wrote.
I
He
did.
did. He did.
Because I
he
began
messed
to
it up,
smell it.
then paused and went, "Nope, I'm gonna do this one."
28.
So it looks like Corsandus just stood somewhere and let people beat the fuck out of him.
Mr. Cassandras, are you aware that you look like you were just letting people beat you up?
Not willingly letting people beat me up. Remember how I said I've been possessed for the last 5 years? Yeah. It's again kind of complicated, you know. It's just a little bit complicated. Idris, say nothing.
It's a little complicated. That's what he always says.
Oh my god.
I will
Anyway,
find a spray bottle.
You.
I'm not a cat, you idiot.
No, but I was. Fucking, I don't know what to do. I'll get a dog whistle.
What?
Idris is going to, like, give him the...
Oh my god.
And he's like, you remember the last time you did that. You remember what happened.
Yes, I do remember what happened.
Why did he say it like that?
I'm gonna do the hands-on laying on Mr.
Okay.
Cassandras.
And okay, I'm not gonna let you like have you do anything for that, but he does look better. He looks significantly better as you do that, and he looks to you and he says, "Thank you."
You're most welcome, Mr. Cassandras.
You're a good kid.
Thank you. Oh, also, this is Eve, and like Finn's gonna pick up Eve and like hold her
knife
up
is
to
the knife.
They have a
Knife.
butcher knife in hand. Well, in mouth.
And Eve
Is
just
it-
has like
Staring.
a machete in her mouth now.
And Corsandus is just gonna watch and say, "What a nice fox."
Fox? Oh, oh yes. She's a
Copyright name here.
she's a copyright neutral name here for
Eventually,
Fox.
I will rename them for the people that are recording for their sake.
Yes, but it's very hard not to say the name. Max, quickly, choose a name real quick.
Funky Fox.
It's fine. We'll figure out throughout the week. It's fine. It's fine. Keep going. Keep going.
Foxtrot.
Anyway, Foxtrot. Yes, we're going with Foxtrot now.
Oh,
Oh my god.
whatever.
This is Eve. She's my companion. Well, one of my companions. I had a water snake.
You still have it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if the water snake came with me or not. But you only said Eve, so I wasn't really sure.
I forgot. I nearly forgot about him, if I'm being honest.
Understandable. I also have a water snake, and like Finn's gonna reach in her bag and like pull out the water snake. Their name is Noodle.
I see.
Also, Max,
Yes.
quick question: how big is this room?
He's gonna
Oh
pour
wait,
out
you know
this
what?
water.
You know what? I feel I know why it's being so iffy right now. Sorry, give me a second.
Okay.
Okay,
Cameron knows what I'm about to do.
does that? Let's see. Actually, I'm just gonna turn my auto sensitivity back on. That's so much better. Anyway,
We're saying it's about to have wet carpet.
it's probably about. Idris, how big is your room?
It's quite the inside of the captain quarters of a ship. So.
Oh, so never mind. It's used to being wet.
It's about. I'd say that's about 15 feet by 15 feet.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, in that case, Finn's not going to pull up Black Lightning then.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay.
Black lightning.
Naughty. You already did that to your religious house. For the love of God, please don't.
But I gotta show off Black Lightning.
You can do that later.
Oh.
Anyway, so Finn's going to say, I would bring on my other companion, but your room seems not the right size. Because I have a giant mountain goat named Black Lightning that I use as a mount.
I see.
He's very nice.
This is like show and tell with Finn at this point. I don't know why, but it's
And also,
kind of fun.
and Finn's going to pull the Warhammer off their back and now I gotta try to remember if I gave it a name or not because I don't remember.
Well, it has a name. So.
Do you remember it?
I do. But do you?
You know the answer to that.
Anyway, moving on.
It's Lightbringer, you dork.
Thank you. And Finn's going to pull the Warhammer out and say, and this is Lightbringer. They talk.
Hello.
There is nothing. Because...
And Corsandus is just kind of saying like, this is this thing I found. I'm not sure what its name is, but it's pretty attached to my wrist, and you see this little green kind of dragon. It's small. And Idris, you do recognize this dragon as Driknoth.
No!
Idris is softly going to speak up, and he'd go, "That's Driknoth. That was Nilus's little companion."
I see. Why anyone would make a companion of a fiendish terror, I don't know. Please get off my arm. And like, Corsandus kind of like gently shakes his arm. That wasn't very gentle.
We just hear screaming.
He just kind of gently shakes his arm, trying to get this Driknoth off, and it just... Driknoth does not go anywhere.
Well, you have a tonic drink on you.
Yes. He's... my little buddy, I guess.
He sounds so reluctant.
Enor from the grave, he just like rises up like someone has my
Anyway, I'll let you get back to what it is you're doing, Mr. Cassandus. And Finn's going to wave bye to both Cassandus and Idris, and I'll say Idris and Elbow. I'm sorry.
Nope, you're fine. And Finn, as you leave, that is where we're going to end session.
alright.
Damn.
I was gonna